Hey everybody, and welcome to the Harrison County Library System's online computer classes. My name is Jeff Conwell. I work up here at the Orange Grove Public Library. If you ever have any questions, come up and see me, or you can drop me a line at g.conwell@harrison.lib.ms.us or librarydude1999@gmail.com. All right, this is our third week of Office that we're doing, and this week we're going to focus on Microsoft PowerPoint. What is PowerPoint? It's a presentation program developed by Microsoft. The software allows users to create anything from basic slides to complex presentations. It's often used to create business presentations, but it can also be used for educational or informal purposes. This is the PowerPoint environment. Notice how it's similar to the Word and Publisher environment that we looked at last time. You've got your quick access toolbar up here, of course. You got your title bar, and there's your close, your minimize, maximize, and close buttons. You got your file tabs, and we'll go through the files before. This chunk below the file tabs is what's called a ribbon. Then you've got your thumbnails page where you can see your slides as you're making them. Your active slide is the one that you see on the screen there. Then you got your status bar down below. Like, notice it says 1 of 13. That's mean it's 1 of 13 slides. And then you got your view buttons and your zoom slider with the and then your notes page below that, where you can actually have notes that you read when you're giving a presentation. So anyway, the PowerPoint keyboard shortcuts are similar to the other ones that you've had before. You've got Control and O opens a presentation. Control and N means that it creates a new presentation. To save a presentation is Control and S. Control and P is to print it. Insert a new slide is Control and M. And to toggle the notes pane, you can press Control, Shift, and H. So if you have your hand on Control and your one finger on Control button, one finger on the Shift button, and then you press the H button, you can get to the notes pane. And to close the presentation, you hit Control and W. To exit, Control and Q. And for help, to press F1. Now remember, again, the older versions of Office are no longer supported by Microsoft. So what you're going to have to do, if you're like me using Office 2010, you're going to have to go to Google and then just ask, what your question is, or you can drop me a line, okay? So don't feel bad if you can't find your answer right away. And these are some more editing and formatting and slideshow delivery buttons that you can use. But remember, your one that you always want to remember is Control and Z to undo what you did, so you can go back to where you need to be to start again. Okay? This is a view of your quick access toolbar. You can customize the toolbar by clicking where it says More Commands down here, and then add them to the list, so you can just with a click get to what tools you need. Your tabs, you got File, Home, Insert, Design, Transitions, Animations, Slideshow, Review, View, and Help. And it's your backstage view, like you have familiar with the other ones that we've done for Word and Publisher. You got your Home, New, Open. Like if you create a file, you want to click New, and they'll give you templates to use. And then you can go to open up one that you've already made. Save, remember it's going to save it as it just says PowerPoint 1 or PowerPoint 2. But if you want to give it a specific name, you click Save As. And print, we'll look at that in a minute in the live version to see what it looks like when you print it out. Now, and then share, which of course you can't use here at the library because you'd have to file and save it to the computer or to a USB and then attach it as an email to send it to somebody. And these can actually be quite large because if you insert a video or something, the files can get quite large, and then you can export it and close it out and all that. Your Home tab, notice it's a little familiar from the other two Office suite of programs that we did. You got your clipboard right here where cut, copy, paste, and all that. You got your slides. When you want to click a new slide, you just click on new slide. The layout we'll look at, but you can change the layout by clicking this, and it'll give you options to choose from. And then you got your fonts right here, the style of writing and all that. You got your paragraphs set up, including with bullet points. Then you got drawing tools that you can add. Now, a lot of people like me, I like to put arrows in everything. If you are familiar at all with my classes, you'll see, I mean, everything that I've done has been done with PowerPoint, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But a lot of times, I want to put an arrow to point something out, so I would click that right there where you can make an arrow go down to something that you're trying to make a point on. And you can arrange everything by layering. You know, you can put text over a picture or whatever. You got your editing tools right here. You can dictate if you want to use voice to put something in. You can do all that. And then to insert, you can click a new slide by there. You can put in a table. You got pictures. And you can put a screenshot even on what's on the computer. And then you can put a photo album, put in illustrations such as shapes, icons, 3D models, smart art, and charts. Now, charts are going to be used a lot of times for businesses, so we'll look at that in the next class that we're having. But you got add-ins that you can put in, links, hyperlinks to different places, and then you can put a comment in there, a text box, and Wordart, header, footer, all that. You can put symbols in there, and then you can put video with this right here, audio, and a screen recording in there. You got your design. Now they have different setups for different kind of designs that you can use that are going to be color schemed. Like if I chose this one here, all the slides will be that background right there, and you can, you know, given options to format your background as you want it. If you want a picture, a certain picture to be on there, you click Format Background. And they give you variants of different styles to use from everything. And then, I want to go back to that. If you wanted to switch, instead of, you know, remember the longwise this way is called landscape. Say if you want to make a presentation that you want for people to be able to view on their phone, but you can change the size by clicking that and make it portrait style. So it's going to be easier for them to look at it on their phone. And then you've got your transitions, and this is one of the really neat things about PowerPoint. You can make things from slide to slide to change by clicking any of these choices. You can, if you do random bars, the next slide will come up with like bars will show up, and then it'll turn into the other slide. And we'll look at that too. But you can make it to where the same transition goes to everything by clicking Apply to All, and do it on either the mouse click or after so long if you want to have the thing like set up on a kiosk or something, and it's always, you know, turning over, repeating itself so that you can watch it over and over again. Okay, and then you've got your animations, which you can have elements from your pictures, from your slides come in by either, you know, rotating, appearing, fading in and out, flying in. Makes it really dramatic, you know. And then you can, but there's a lot of different things that you can do with that. And animation, they got different advanced animation tools right here. And then you got your timing when you can start it and stop it and all of that. You got on your slideshow, when you review it, you can review it with a click from the beginning of it or from the current slide, and you can present it online. You got a custom slideshow set up here. And then when you set up your slideshow, you can view certain ones in the bunch of them that you make, or just, all. But anyway, that's how you can set up your slides and the timing of them all, too. And hide slides, you can rehearse the timings. There's a lot of things where you're set up when you want to play, practice doing this. In the course of my classes, I don't do a lot of practicing. You may notice that because I talk like a regular person. It's not too polished, but I've done it enough to where I really don't have to do that. But it is good practice for you to just rehearse your slideshow presentation. You got to remember, you're standing up in front of a bunch of people, you want to make an impression, and that's what you do. It's just like if you're doing a play or something, you get up and you rehearse it. Well, slideshow, the PowerPoint allows you to do that with those tools right there. And then you can, here are the monitors that you do. Use a presenter view, which is the whole screen of this computer here would be that, where you can have it set up for using it on a monitor. And then you can use subtitles or, customize that. Then you got review, of course, with your spelling and grammar. They give you a thesaurus, things that you want to use different words for. You can use that. Use a translate language. They got accessibility, insights, language, comments, compare, and then ink, and then OneNote. So you can put in a bunch of different things with that. The view, of course, this is what your normal view is. You're going to have the side pane there with the presentation view right there, and then you've got your outline view so you can see it. And then if you want to rearrange your slides at a glance, you can click the slide sorter and just shift them around. And then you got your notes page, your reading view, your master views right there. Your show with the ruler, if you want to put something in there and you want to see it, how it's lined up. And PowerPoint will do a lot like Publisher. It will line everything up with you'll see a guide there a line that will come up that'll say it fits, and even with the next object in the slide. And then you zoom over here where you can fit it to the window, making the slide to be the whole picture. And you can zoom it in and out, and it's got the slide bar down at the bottom, which we'll look at. Then you've got your color, your scales right here. You got your new window. You can put all that. You can switch windows and all that. Now, Microsoft Office 365 presentation PowerPoint doesn't have all of the tasks, all the tools that you see here. Remember, this is a downloaded version of Office, so it's going to have more to it than the 365 does. But it does have a lot, and we'll look at that in our next class. Then you got, of course, there's your slider at the bottom that you just toggle that little gray button down here at the bottom back and forth to make it smaller or bigger so you can look at your whole thing that you're working on. And then, of course, you got your help, which we said before. You're going to have to Google what your help question is if it's an older version of Office, of PowerPoint in this case. And then to create a new presentation, we're going to look at just the basic steps. And I made these little GIF images that is a little easier to look at when I click on. This is how to make a new presentation. You simply click on where it says File, and then you click down here where it says New, and it gives you a choice, and it opens up to create a new presentation. So just press the File, and then New, and then Blank Presentation. Or you can choose one of the templates. And you can also use those keys, Control and N, to do that. To open a presentation, you simply click File, and then Open to open it, and you search for where there may be your presentation, if you can remember where you put it. So that's a presentation that's saved on the desktop. And when I click Open, it just opens up. And then you've got, let's see, yeah, that's how that, you press Control and O if you don't want to go File and Open. It's an easy step to do. Just press Control and O. To save it, you click the little floppy disk that's at the top of your quick access bar, or you can click File and then Save or Save As, or press Control and S. Now if you press Save As, remember that's how you're going to give it a name. Otherwise it'll just be whatever's in the first slide, or just we'll say PowerPoint, whatever. Okay. To preview and print it out, you click File and Print. And then you're going to see what it looks like when it prints out. But we'll look at a live version of that, because you can make, say like what happens in the library, people come in and want to make copies of a PowerPoint presentation they have for class. Well, if they have 42 slides, that's 42 times 15 cents each. You want to put more slides on a page, you can do that. And I'll show you how to do that. To close it, all you have to do is click the X at the top of the right-hand corner of your screen, and it'll close out the window. And to undo, again, guys, it's Control and Z, or you press the back arrow. It undoes what you just did. So here I am changing the words out, like I move it around. If I undo what I did, just do that. And there you go. To redo, you click the other button on the quick access toolbar. It looks like a dishwasher symbol, kind of, sort of, and it will redo what you just did. Now, these redo and undo buttons only go back like 25 times, so you can't go back pretty much to the very beginning, okay, unless you're just starting. But you can go back a good ways to where you can, backtrack and find out what you did wrong, and learn from your working with it, because that's the only way that you're going to learn how to do this. To change the presentation view, you simply go to the View and you click on the View tab, and this shows the different, going out to, I'm going to wait till it starts up again, but you got Normal View, Outline View, Slide Sorter View, and Reading View. Okay, that's the normal view. And now that's the slide sorter view. That's the normal page. That's the presenter view, the reading view. Okay? Normal. That's the slide, the outline view. And then you've got the slides sorter. Okay, well, you get the picture. You can view it different ways to see what you got. Normal, slide sorter, then the reading view right there. Normal, slide sorter, the notes view, notes page, and that's the reading view. Okay? Now, to get help, you just press F1, or, not ask Google what you want to know. To use transitions, what you do is you click on the transition buttons, and whatever one you want to do, you're going to see a little symbol come up on the slide you're working on that will give you a little, you can't quite see it, but you'll see it when I do a live version of this. When you click on the transition, it changes for how the slides are going to go from one to the other. Click on transitions, and I'm choosing Ripple. And then I'm going to hit apply to all, so the transition is going to be the same throughout the whole presentation. And then that's how that looks. To set up a slideshow, you click on the slideshow tab to set up your slideshow, and under the show options, you click loop continuously, until escape to have your slideshow repeat itself. Okay, so that's how you set up a slideshow. Now we're going to do an exercise, and I hope you get to do this at home because you really want to have fun with it before you do anything serious, just to get your feeling of what PowerPoint's all about. So what you want to do, the exercise I suggest is to make a slideshow of your dream vacation around the world. Insert pictures and facts about the places that you'd like to visit, and don't forget to put in some cool transitions to keep your audience entertained. That's important, okay? So we're going to do that in just a second. I'm actually going to work with this on you, so you're going to see me do exactly what I'm asking you to do. Okay, y'all. What I'm going to do is make a presentation about my dream vacation around the world. I'm going to get out of the PowerPoint, and I'm going to open up a file that I created for doing just such a thing. I put it on here, and this is a list that I made with Word of my dream vacation. It's really helpful, I find, to kind of plan out what you want to do, at least make an outline, okay? The fun part is actually getting all the pictures that you want to put in it. As long as it's not for sale, you can take most pictures that you want from the internet, and you're not charging anybody to watch your presentation. You can use what pictures you find. And I'm gonna go through the wish list here. I wanted to put down the places I wanted to visit, but I want to also put some fun facts in there. So what I'm going to do before I start is I want to gather the images together. So first I'm going to go on Egypt. So I'm going to look for a picture of Egypt. And if that doesn't do it fast enough, I'm going to go to Google Chrome, which is built for speed. Come on, Google. Okay, I'm just going to look up Egypt, and then look up images, and that looks good. I want to use this one. Now, when you go to an image, remember, because it's going to be on a big screen, you want the image to be big. And if you remember from my Google class, when you go to Tools and you go to Size, you can say large or medium or good. So I'm looking up big pictures. Now that picture is good. So I want to save this picture. I'm going to right click. Now that's the size of the picture. That's a really good picture to save. I'm going to say Save Image As. I could also hit Copy Image. And it's helpful when you have, you got your files together. You want to put them in one big folder. So I'm going to just call that My Dream Trip. And then I'm going to save this picture. Then on my next item is Greece. So I'm going to go back to Google and I'm going to look for a picture of Greece. So I'm going to hit enter. Now it's still on the images folder, so I've got a good picture. I also want to get these are all pretty good pictures. I think that's probably Santorini, which is a really neat place. I'm just looking for some really cool pictures of Greece. But if I wouldn't go to Athens too, who knows? These are big pictures. If I go click on that, it'll show me the size. So I'm going to right click, Save Image As, and it's going to my file for my presentation. Okay, that's 2 down. So now I want to get another one, Bali. So I'm going to go and just copy and change my search to Bali. And hit enter. I'm sure there are a lot of cool pictures in Bali. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Save picture, save image as Bali. Oh, that's not one that I can use. That's pretty. That one too. Right click, save image as Bali. I'm gonna name that so I know what the name of it is. Okay, Bali. And then what else I got here? I've got Australia. So I'm gonna go type up Australia. And images, let's do beautiful. There's Sydney Harbor. There's Oz Rock. And that's one, I've actually been to this site before. I'd like to go again. It's a beautiful place. It's called the Apostles. There are like these rocks that are right off the coast by Melbourne. And say save image as. And then I'm going to go and got one more after that, Route 66. I don't know about y'all, but I've always wanted to go visit and eat at those little kitschy diners they have on Route 66. So I'm going to paste and hit go and find some good pictures for Route 66. So see if I find any good pictures. Okay, that looks good. Save image as. That's going to say download. So that's not actual, that's not going to be as big as you think it is. So I'm going to the site to get the picture. And I'm going to right click on this. You're going to see instead of saying download, it's got a name. So I know what, by the name of that, it's a big long thing, but I know what it is, and part of the name says Route 66. Okay, so I've got my pictures, and I've got my information that I want to post on the presentation. Now I want to put it all together. So I click on PowerPoint. It's going to give me a blank presentation. So this will be my title page. I want to put my dream vacation here. Notice that this right here, I'm on the Home tab, and this is going to give me the layout where I can cut, copy, and paste. I can go to layout. You'll see the different layouts. That's the title and content, section header, to content, so you can have two pictures side by side. And then you can, you got comparison, a title only, a blank, content with caption, or picture with caption. So I'm going to use part of this, but I'm going to go put this first one to be just a title page. And again, you just click and you type. And it's going to have the font size is going to be really big. If you remember, I'm always talking about Tahoma, and it was in a PowerPoint seminar that I attended that I learned about it, and I've used it ever since. I really just can't get over not using it. So I can put my dream vacation. But you know what? That's going to look kind of bland. So what I want to do is maybe add, well, first of all, I'm going to put a subtitle. Someday. Okay, I like that, but I want to change this instead of just a title with the plain. It looks kind of boring. I want to put in Wordart. Remember from our last class on Publisher how you would do that? I'm going to, without typing it again, I'm just going to copy the text by right-clicking and copying. I'm going to delete the whole thing by clicking on this little, when you click on the edge of the box, see how we got the handles highlighted? I selected the whole object, including the text inside. If I hit delete while I'm inside it, it's just going to go take away the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the edge of the box and just hit that delete button, or I can hit cut out of that to do it. But I'm going to hit delete, and now it's still there, the item's still there. It's not going to print anything that says click to add title, but the item is still there. So I can hit delete, and now it's gone. I'm going to hit the insert tab, and put in some Wordart. And I'm going to make it's going to be an object that I can use for whatever. If I want to put a transition in here and have the item fly in. But I don't want the color to be orange. I'm going to make it to be, let's do a light green, a shape fill. That's going to fill the text box. I'm going to go to the text and say text fill and make it maybe green, and the outline is going to be green too. So now the whole text is green, and I'm going to just change by pasting what I saved. Oh, I forgot. When you hit paste, notice that you're given these options. If I paste it there, it's going to paste it exactly like it was written. But since I formatted it to be the Wordart, when I click on that A, it's going to come up with the same formatting that I set up for that. So now I can put in a picture or something, or I can change the color of the background of the slide. Remember we talked about that? I go to design, and then I click, I can choose any of these choices. It changes it out to different choices just by hovering my mouse over where it's at. I've given all these different templates to go by. And if you click the down drop arrow, there's even more. I'm looking to see if any of these kind of suit my fancy. Oh, I like that one with the notes. Okay. Maybe I want to put in a picture in there someplace. I don't know. Let me think about it. I'm going to use that as my first slide. Okay. Now, if I wanted to make them all that way, I could go to the background. Let's do, what happens if I put a new slide in? I'm going to my home tab, I hit new slide. It's going to be the same thing right there. So I'm going to put in, I'm going to maybe keep this, but I'm going to put the layout. I'm going to want to put a picture as well as some text. So what I might do is hit this right here and change these words out. Again, I'm going to put Tahoma in. And I'm going to put, my first one is going to be Egypt. But maybe I want, there's a style of writing that is on Office that's called Papyrus. And it looks like, kind of reminds me of Egypt. I can just type in Papyrus. But you look at all the different font styles that you can use. And you can have fun with this. Okay? I'm going to make it bold. And now that looks like Egypt. So if I want to insert that picture that I saved of the Sphinx, I just notice these icons here. That's for a table, a chart, a smart art graphic, a picture, or a clip art, or even a media film. Like a video that you want to put in there. And I'm going to go ahead and click picture. Now it's going to automatically open up to the pictures library, but I got that saved, that file, on my presentation thing. Here, let's see if I can find it. My dream trip, there it is. And now I got Egypt, and I can insert that picture right there. Okay? Now I want to put in this side, I want to put in my text. So I'm going to put in my fun facts about Egypt by going to this page here and say, I put all that in there by hitting copy, okay? And then I go to a PowerPoint and I'm going to click to add the text. Now if I paste it, remember it's going to be formatted like it was done when I typed it out. So if I do that, that'll look bad. But maybe I want to put a border around this. So I'm going to add a border to the text box. I can say shape outline and put it with black, or maybe shape effects. I can put a shadow in there. Let's do a shadow. So, and I can, when I go to shadow, I go to shadow options and I can make it a little deeper. If you can see this, I'm taking the shadow and making the size of it let's do transparency, okay, and blur. I'm just experimenting with it. Like I said, that's how you you play around with it till you get what you want. So that gives enough of a, where it stands out a little bit. I might make the border a little bit thicker. Okay. Let me go back and add. Okay, that's what I got there. Okay, I don't want to get too much into it, but you kind of see how you can play with the, I wanted to make it look like a picture too, but that's okay. I'm just going to leave that. Now I could keep the same format for all of these and just by right-clicking and click duplicate slide. And now all I got to do is change out the content. So instead of saying Egypt, I'm going to put Greece, because that's my next on my itinerary, my imaginary itinerary. Hit copy and go back to to PowerPoint. I'm going to hit paste and I can make it to be, I don't know if I have any Greek looking letters, but I can find something that looks different. Let me see what one I want. They give me choices. I like that one. It's a centaur. Okay. And notice it's also got that big A and small a. So I have Egypt written all in caps. I click on that big A and small a. Without me having to type it over, I can hit uppercase. And I'm going to make it bold to stand out. So now that's different. Now I got to change the fun facts out and also put in another picture. I noticed on this, I would like to take the bullet out by clicking, if you look up here, I'm on the Home tab, and that's got a bullet. I want to center this and make it bigger, or make it a little bit bigger and bolder to stand out. So I'm going to hit the bullet thing, hit the center to justify it. I click bold, and I'm going to hit the big A to make it a little bit bigger. I can even put an underline on it to kind of give it some more oomph. Okay? So anyway, that's how I did that. So let me do that on this one. Click on the fun facts. I'm going to go ahead and do it in a different order, but the same thing. Underline, bold, and a little bit bigger. So now I need to change out the content. if I right click on this picture, I can click with the thing, just say change picture. And now it remembered where I was at last, so I don't have to search for it. Now let me get grease and hit that. I want to make the picture a little bit bigger, so what I'm going to do is I can click on the handles, or if I double click on the picture, see how the ribbon changed? I can do all kinds of things with the picture. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, that's good. And now I am going to, I can actually make these like photographs. If you look at the pictures, how the ribbon is, I can make these to be like that, or just hover it around, make it like a picture. And I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So what I want to do is make it like an old Polaroid or something. I think that one, let's do that one. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the Egypt one. I'm going to click on the picture, and I used that one, I think, but it took away a little bit from the Egypt, from the Sphinx's head. So I'm going to make that one a little bit bigger. Okay? Now I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hit duplicate again. I'm keeping the same format for all of these pictures, just to make it easy for you. I'm going to highlight this, and when I go into my Word, the next one is Bali, I just hit copy, come to PowerPoint, and I hit paste. Now, if I keep the same format options by that, it's going to make Bali to be the same font type and everything. So I might, okay, let's see what happens if I capitalize it. I'm going to highlight everything, and then I'm going to hit the big A and small a, make it all uppercase. Maybe I change it to a different font type. So Bali's kind of exotic. So I want to, actually it's very exotic, I heard. Always wanted to go there. And let me do elephant. Okay, that looks good. Now, oh, I didn't change on the grease facts to, I'm getting ahead of myself. I do that a lot, as you can tell. Let me go back and get my grease fun facts. Copy that, and I'm going to paste the same formatting options. So, oh, got to take out the bullets. Oh, I'm not clicking on the right thing. Sorry. Okay. What happened? Well, formatting. Okay. Let me undo that. Remember, Control and Z. Okay. I'm going to just hit paste. And now it's got everything like I want it to be. Okay. So now I'm doing Bali. I'm changing the picture. Click, right click, change picture. Let me put Bali in there. And I might want to use another picture. If it's rectangular, it's not going to fit so much like over here. Like I can move everything around by clicking on the object on the corner of it, on the edge of it, and put it here. That might work. I might just use that because the text box doesn't necessarily show up. I can, remember you got this thing called layering. And what it is I can actually hide the border of this text box by clicking on it and say formatting tools and say shape outline and I say no outline. So now there's no outline for Bali, which is fine for me. So I'm going to do that. If I layered it, I can go back here, and if I click on the picture, and I want to say format picture, move forward, so then the picture comes in front of that text box. But you don't, what happens then, you don't see the little bullet points. So I just move those over like that. But see, now the border is showing on the side here, so I can just get rid of the border by clicking on the border of the text box and hit Format, Shape Outline, No Outline. So now it looks fine like that. Okay. So now I got Bali, but I have to put in the facts for Bali. So I'm going to go back to my things that I have about Bali. I'm going to copy that. And then I go back to my PowerPoint and I highlight this text here and I hit paste. So now I've got Bali in there. So, and notice it fits everything into the box. I can actually, if I click and drag on the handle and go down, it might even make the text bigger, but it doesn't. Okay. It will automatically format things to fit in the text box when you use PowerPoint. Just like with Publisher, it does the same thing, if you remember from last time. Okay, now I'm going to make right-click and duplicate slide, keeping the formatting options open. I'm going to change this to be Australia. Remember, I chose Australia as my fourth itinerary, my fourth travel goal. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it into, let me just do that without doing the fun facts. I'm just going to highlight this on Australia. And I'm going to change all of this to the fun facts for Australia. And I'm going to change this, of course, to be Australia. I'm going to change my picture to Australia. And I'm going to change the, I actually like that a lot for that. You don't have to change everything every time you do it. I'm just doing it for variety so that you can see the different types of font that you use. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to say, so many choices. Let's do Britannic. That looks good. Okay. So now I can move this over a little bit. I could even put back the text box, the outline of it, and say Format, Shape Outline, and I'm going to put weights. I can even make it a little bigger, bolder to do that. Okay? You get the feel of how I'm doing all this, I hope. Now I'm going to right-click my last one, duplicate slide, change the term to be Route 66. And I'm going to change my picture to Route 66. Okay, where'd it go? Where did my Route 66 picture go? Okay, well, let me go back to Route 66. Right-click, Save Image As. And I didn't save it, so I'm back. I save the picture. And then I go to my PowerPoint. Oh, wait a second. It may not have saved it. Let me see what format it was. No, it's a JPEG. Check out these. I know that's what the name of it is. So I go back to my PowerPoint, change picture, Oh, sorry. And now the picture's in there, and I'm going to put the fun facts in, highlight the text, give me my fun facts about Route 66, copy, and then I paste them into that text box there. This is an interesting fact that there's a certain part of Route 66 where they, when your car drives over it, these loudspeakers out of nowhere will start doing America the Beautiful because they want people to slow down. So anyway, I have that like that. It's fine. I want to change the style out to, let's do maybe Arial Black. And then I go and I got everything down there. Okay, now I've got all my slides that I want, but the title page is lacking a little something. So I want to insert a picture that I've saved and formatted to be the size that I want. So I'm going to click on my Home tab. I'm going to hit the Insert tab, and I'm going to insert a picture. And where I've got it, it's plain is the name of the picture that I want to insert. And I'm going to put it down here at the, notice that line that shows up, that shows that it's in line with my title. So I'm going to format it to where it's going to fly from one end of the slide to the other end of the slide. But I want it to go behind the text. So I'm going to say, when I double click, well, it's already on the formatting for the picture tools. So I'm going to hit send to the behind, to the very back of the text. And now I want to put in a transition, or an animation rather, that's going to go with the line. I'm going to insert a line. Oop. I can put it like that. I want to customize it to where it's going to be let's see here. I'm going to insert I put in a line, and I got to make the line go from the beginning with the green button to oop, I'm going to put it about this to this distance. You won't see the line in the transition. It's gonna, when I mark it to where it goes, I just click in the preview, the slide presenter view. So when I click, it's gonna zoom from one end to the other. But it's too far. Let me escape out of that, and I'm going to drag this down just a little bit. And now when I go to the presenter view, when I click, it's going to zoom from one end to the other of the slide. So anyway, that looks good. I like that. So I'm going to escape, and I'm going to insert some more transitions from one slide to the next. Okay, now I'm going to put in some transitions for my other slides, and we're going to look at how that goes. If they don't work out, bear with me, because I'm experimenting like this with you as I would with anything. Now, to get a preview of what it looks like, I'm going to go to the preview plane. When I click the clicker, my item there moves like I arranged it to. My next one, that's kind of cool. It's blinds. So I want to use maybe another type of transition for this slide on grease. I'm going to do cover, and it will go slide from one side to the other on that one. And then I'm going to hit flash for Bali. Now let's do Australia. We'll do a clock. And then for the last one, Route 66, I'm going to do it's like a zoom or a fly through. Okay? Now I've got my transition set up. I can even do transitions for the different objects that I have in there, but I don't want to make it too complicated. I just want to get it done and see what it looks like. Okay? So now we're going to do slideshow. I'm going to say from the beginning, and I'm going to preview it. I'm clicking each time the things move. I'm progressing in the slideshow. I'm hitting this button that you see right there is the same thing on my keyboard. So I'm just clicking the arrow to go to the next slide. And then give you enough time to rehearse it if you want to time it, or you can just use the manual to go to the next one. So anyway, that's how you make a basic PowerPoint presentation. Stay tuned for next time, because what we'll do is I'm going to do a more like a scientific kind of a presentation rather than an entertaining one, but stuff that you'll learn about. Remember, y'all, my name is Jeff Conwell, and all you got to do to write me is write me at g.conwell@harrison.lib.ms.us or librarydude1999@gmail.com. So anyway, thank you for watching, and stay tuned.